People don't steal your peace. You hand it to them. Today, we take it back. If a comment can ruin your day, they own you. If a look can flip your mood, they own you. If a delay can light your fuse, they own you. That ends now. This video is a fight for your serenity. Not theory, not fluff. 10 steps, clear, practical, unshakable. So no text, no gossip, no drama can hijack your calm again. Here's the truth. Control begins within. Not in the chat, not in the news, not in other people. Inside your mind is the switch. You either hand it to the world or you keep it. We're going to build inner armor. You will learn to detach from triggers. You will choose silence over useless talk. You will see lessons instead of insults. You will guard your mental gates. You will train your mind daily. You will expect nothing from others. You will forgive fast and move faster. You will lock onto purpose and become unbothered. Short sentences, strong actions. Do this. Not that, now, not someday. Each step comes with a micro practice you can run in 60 seconds. You won't just understand peace. You will deploy it. Stay to the end. You'll get the 24-hour peace protocol. A simple script for tomorrow morning. Wake, breathe, focus, execute. Live one full day where nothing and no one shakes you. If you're ready to stop reacting and start ruling your inner world, let's begin. Take one breath in through the nose, hold, breathe out slowly. That space between stimulus and response is yours. Claim it. Control begins within. And once you own the inside, nothing outside can move you. Let's reclaim the remote to your mind right now. Everything starts and ends in your mind. You don't lose peace because of what people say. You lose it when you give their words permission to live inside your head. Anger, irritation, jealousy, frustration. These are not intruders. They are messengers. They don't show up to ruin your day. They arrive to show you where you've lost control. Most people try to fight emotions from the outside. They blame the comment, the coworker, the traffic, the partner, but the real battlefield is inside. The truth is simple. You cannot master the world around you until you master the world within you. Every reaction you have, every flare of anger, every rush of offense is a reflection of how disciplined your inner world is. When your emotions run wild, they become your master. But when your awareness leads, emotions become your servants. Let's be clear, control doesn't mean suppression. It's not about pretending you're calm while boiling inside. Contrôle mène direction. It means you see the emotion rise, acknowledge it, and still decide what happens next. That is power. Most people live as emotional puppets. One word pulls a string. One look pulls another. They give away the remote control of their peace to everyone they meet, strangers, co-workers, even random people online. Every insult becomes a button that turns them on and off. But what if you could hold that remote again? What if you could walk through life untouchable? Not because the world stopped testing you, but because you stopped reacting. That's real strength, calm under fire. Think about this. Storms will come no matter how enlightened you are. The measure of mastery is not avoiding storms. It's walking through them with steady eyes and a quiet heart. Anyone can be peaceful when life is smooth. But control is proven when everything shakes and you remain still. Here's the law. Your emotions belong to you. No one can make you angry without your consent. No one can make you feel small unless you agree to it. No one controls your peace unless you hand them the keys. And most people hand them out freely to every rude comment, every delay, every disappointment. But not you. Not anymore. Today, you take those keys back. Control begins with awareness. Watch your thoughts, because thoughts turn into emotions. Watch your emotions, because they turn into actions. Watch your actions, because they become habits. Watch your habits, because they form your destiny. The chain is simple. Break it at the start. When a thought comes that tries to provoke you, pause it, breathe, ask, is this thought building me or breaking me? If it's breaking you, reject it. Don't wrestle with it. Replace it. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. Every thought is a visitor. Some deserve entry. Most don't. When chaos knocks, don't open the door. Control is not about never feeling. It's about never being ruled by what you feel. The moment you can watch anger rise without obeying it, you've already won. The one who controls his inner world controls his fate. Here's a truth worth memorizing. Every time you react emotionally, you lose power. Every time you pause and choose, you gain it back. That pause, that tiny space between what happens and how you respond, is where your freedom lives. That's where your calm grows muscles. That's where the weak break and the strong rise. So train that pause daily. When irritation appears, don't explode evaluate. When criticism arrives, don't defend dischurn. When conflict comes, don't attack, observe. That's how you rise above the noise. The world doesn't need another person who reacts. It needs one more person who rules himself. So remember, control begins within. Every insult is a test. Every reaction is a choice. You are not here to be manipulated by emotions. You are here to command them. You can't control what people do, but you can always control what you do next. And that's where peace begins, not when the world changes, but when you do. Mantra, be the wall. Calm is your power. Every emotion starts as a spark, a word, a tone, a glance, and suddenly your peace catches fire. You don't even notice it happen. One moment you're calm. The next you're burning with irritation. That's how emotional control is lost. Not in explosions, but in small, invisible sparks that slip through your awareness. Detachment is how you stop feeding that fire. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting everything own your mood. You begin to see life not as an attack to survive, but as a scene to observe. When someone insults you, they're showing you their own state of mind, not your worth. When someone gossips about you, they're exposing their weakness, not your failure. When someone provokes you, they're testing their own control, not yours. You don't have to attend every battle you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every message, argue every lie, or correct every fool. The more you react, the more you lose yourself to the very energy you're trying to avoid. Every time you react emotionally, you surrender power. You hand your peace to someone who doesn't deserve it. You let them write your mood, control your day, and steal your energy. That's not strength. That's submission. Detachment gives you back ownership. It says, I see what's happening, but I won't let it move me. It's not coldness, it's clarity. Imagine yourself as the sky. Emotions are clouds, they pass through, but they don't define you. A calm sky doesn't fight the storm. It lets it move, knowing it won't last. The key is awareness. When you feel your emotions rise, pause, breathe, create space between the trigger and your response. That tiny moment is your training ground. In that pause, you regain freedom. You move from impulse to intelligence. Here's a sample technique. Stop 4 letters. 1 shift. S, stop what you're doing. T, take a deep breath. O, observe what's happening inside. P, proceed with intention, not reaction. That's detachment in action. You're not ignoring the feeling, you're studying it. You're deciding whether it deserves your energy. Most don't. Let's be honest, most of what triggers us today won't matter next week. But the energy we lose reacting to it does matter. Every time you react, you drain your mental battery. Every time you stay still, you recharge it. The more detached you become, the more peaceful your life feels. People will still talk, things will still go wrong, but your response changes everything. You move from, why is this happening to me, to what is this teaching me? That's where wisdom lives. Detachment is not escape. It's control with awareness. You still feel everything, but you choose what's worth responding to. You stop feeding anger and start feeding peace. You stop chasing validation and start chasing purpose. Every moment you refuse to react is a small victory. Silence confuses the weak and empowers the wise. The one who stays calm in chaos commands every situation. Detachment also builds emotional intelligence. It teaches you that emotions are signals, not commands. Anger signals a boundary. Sadness signals a loss. Frustration signals resistance. You don't obey the signal, you understand it. You use it to learn, not to explode. When you detach, you become impossible to manipulate. People can push your buttons, but they don't get a reaction. They lose control. They realize your peace is not for sale. That's the real meaning of being unbothered. It's not apathy, it's awareness. You see, you understand how you choose, and you move on. So next time someone tries to provoke you, stay silent. Let your calm speak. When someone disrespects you, hey, don't explain your worth, live it. When life throws chaos your way, breathe through it like a warrior in training, because that's exactly what you are, a student of self-mastery. And the lesson for today is simple. Don't be moved by what doesn't matter. Don't be shaken by what doesn't serve you. Detachment isn't weakness. It's wisdom in motion. Be calm. Be clear. Be untouchable. Every time you pause, you rise. Every time you choose silence, you grow. Mantra. Feel everything, but be controlled by nothing. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. It's the moment when noise loses its grip on you. When you realize that not everything requires a response. Most people destroy their power by talking too much, explaining, defending, proving, reacting. But the wise, they conserve it. Speech is energy. Every word you say spends that energy somewhere. The question is, are you investing it or wasting it? When you rush to reply to every insult, you drain your focus. When you argue to be understood, you trade peace for ego. When you speak without thought, you scatter your power into the air. But when you hold your tongue, when you let silence speak for you, something incredible happens. People start listening. The quiet person in the room always carries weight, not because they're mysterious, but because they're intentional. They don't speak to fill space. They speak to shift energy. Their words have gravity because they're not thrown around carelessly. Understand this: silence intimidates the insecure and commands the confident. The loud often talk to prove themselves. The strong stay silent because they already know who they are. You don't need to argue your worth. Your actions will echo louder than any words ever could. The one who can control his tongue can control his world. It's easy to let emotion drive speech, to snap, to defend, to explain, but silence gives you leverage. It gives you time to think. It protects your energy from leaking into arguments that don't serve your growth. There's a reason every wise leader pauses before speaking. That pause isn't hesitation. It's strategy. It's the space where truth gathers strength. When someone provokes you, stay quiet. Let their noise expose them. When someone lies about you, stay calm. Let truth catch up on its own. When someone disrespects you, walk in silence. Let your results become the answer. Silence is the weapon of the disciplined. It disarms chaos. It frustrates manipulators. It confuses the weak because they feed on reaction. They grow when you get loud. They shrink when you don't. Here's a simple truth. Not every comment deserves your response. And not every attack deserves your defense. Arguing with ignorance only drags you down to its level. The strongest move is stillness. But silence isn't just for conflict, it's for clarity. When you stop filling every moment with noise, you start hearing your own thoughts clearly. You begin to listen to intuition, ideas, creativity. The voice within that gets drowned by constant talking. Great thinkers, inventors, and leaders have one thing in common. They withdraw from noise to listen deeply. They understand that silence is the birthplace of direction. Try this. Spend 10 minutes today in complete quiet. No phone, no music, no talking. Just sit and observe. Notice how your mind starts to calm. Notice how ideas begin to rise. That's not emptiness. That's power forming. When you are comfortable in silence, you stop needing validation. You stop fearing judgment. You stop explaining your vision to people who will never understand it. You move in peace while others chase attention. Silence sharpens your perception. It makes you a better listener, a stronger thinker, and a more grounded human being. While others react to every sound, you respond only when it matters. That's mastery. And when you do speak, your words will carry weight. They'll cut through noise because they come from depth, not desperation. So hold back when you feel the urge to speak too soon. Let your restraint be your statement. Let your focus be your proof. Let your calm be your message. Because in a world addicted to noise, silence is the rarest form of strength. It's not emptiness, it's clarity. It's not hiding, it's mastery. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Train yourself to speak less and observe more. People reveal themselves when they talk. You gather power when you listen. The loud rush to be heard. The wise wait to be remembered. Mantra: speak less. Move smart. Let silence do the talking. The world will test you not to destroy you, but to reveal you. Every insult, every criticism, every rejection is not an attack, it's instruction. The difference between the weak and the wise is simple. The weak take things personally. The wise take things powerfully. When someone offends you, you have two choices: to react or to rise. Reaction keeps you trapped in emotion. Reflection turns that emotion into education. Most people never learn this. They let words burn them, not build them. They get offended instead of upgraded. Here's the truth. No one can humiliate you without your permission. You choose whether to hand over that power or hold it. Every insult only lands if it finds a wound inside you. If you know your worth, words lose their weight. They bounce off like pebbles hitting steel. But if they sting, don't hate the speaker. Study the sting. That discomfort is your greatest teacher. It's showing you where your self-belief still cracks. Maybe you care too much about validation. Maybe you fear being misunderstood. Maybe you still doubt your value. Whatever the reason, the insult reveals it. And that's the beauty life gives you: mirrors disguised as enemies. Every person who irritates you is showing you where your patience ends. Every critic is revealing where your confidence bends. Don't break. Observe. Adjust. Grow. The immature mindset says, they disrespected me. The mature mindset says, they just expose where I still need work. You can't control what people say, but you can control what it builds in you. Next time someone mocks your dream, don't get angry, get focused. Let their doubt become your drive. Let their disbelief become your discipline. Nothing destroys critics faster than consistency. Your silence and results are the best revenge. Understand this. People attack what threatens them. If someone belittles your ambition, it's because your potential reminds them of their own stagnation. Their words are reflections of their fears, not your flaws. So why waste your energy trying to correct their projection? Let them talk. You keep building. Think of life as a classroom. Every painful moment is a lesson plan. If you ignore the lesson, you repeat the class. That's why the same types of people, same conflicts, same emotional patterns keep reappearing in your life. It's not bad luck. It's unlearned wisdom knocking again. Ask yourself in every tough moment, what is this teaching me? Patience, boundaries, detachment. Maybe it's teaching you how to stay calm when chaos tries to provoke you. Maybe it's teaching you how to stay certain when others doubt your path. Every lesson you learn makes you stronger, sharper, calmer. The insults stop mattering because you've outgrown them. You've turned every scar into armor. And this is key. Never let offense become obsession. Some people spend months replaying an insult in their mind, crafting imaginary arguments, trying to prove their worth to people who never cared. That's emotional poverty. You can't grow forward while staring backward. Shift your focus. Every minute spent on anger is a minute stolen from progress. Every emotional reaction is a withdrawal from your energy account. Save that energy for your vision, your growth, your evolution. The truth is, simple growth hurts before it heals. The insult that cut you today might be the lesson that builds you tomorrow. Pain refines you. Pressure polishes you. Every sharp word aimed to wound, you can actually shape you if you let it. Remember, the wise don't fear conflict. They use it. They don't absorb insults. They alchemize them. They don't react to negativity. They recycle it into motivation. So next time someone tries to pull you down, smile quietly. You just found another opportunity to rise. Let their noise remind you of your focus. Let their doubt remind you of your discipline. Let their insult remind you of your inner peace. Because when you stop seeing insults and start seeing lessons, nothing can offend you anymore. You become unshakable, not because the world stopped attacking, but because you stopped absorbing. The fire that once burned you now fuels you. The critics who once hurt you now help you. The pain that once controlled you now propels you. That's how peace is built, not by avoiding the storm, but by learning to dance in the rain. Mantra: don't take it personal, take it powerful. Every insult is a lesson. Every critic a teacher. Every challenge a mirror. Your mind is the command center of your entire life. Everything you think, feel, and become begins there. If you don't guard it, the world will fill it with garbage fear, doubt, gossip, comparison, noise. You can't plant seeds of peace in a garden overrun by weeds of negativity. Most people live on mental autopilot. They consume whatever crosses their path: angry news, toxic conversations, endless scrolling, constant distraction. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, drained, or lost. But here's the truth: your peace is not stolen. It's surrendered through careless exposure. You must treat your mind like a fortress. Not everyone gets access. Not every word deserves entry. Not every opinion belongs inside. The same way you wouldn't let a stranger walk into your home and start yelling. You shouldn't let random negativity enter your thoughts unchecked. Every day, you have two choices: to protect your peace or to feed your poison. What you allow in determines what comes out. Garbage in, garbage out. Greatness in, greatness out. Guarding your mental gate starts with awareness. Pay attention to what you consume. What kind of music do you listen to? What kind of content do you watch? Who do you talk to daily? What do you think about before you sleep? Every input becomes an imprint on your subconscious. If you constantly consume chaos, you start to crave it. If you surround yourself with complaints, you start to think small. If you feed on gossip, your focus dies in silence. But if you feed your mind wisdom, positivity, and purpose, you begin to vibrate at a higher level. Napoleon Hill once said, "Your mind is your greatest asset or your greatest liability. It will either build your heaven or create your hell, and you decide which by what you let in." Think of your attention as currency. Every scroll, every conversation, every headline is asking for a piece of it. The more you spend it carelessly, the less you have left for what truly matters: your purpose, your growth, your vision. Guarding your mind doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means being intentional. You can't stop the world from shouting, but you can choose what you listen to. You can't control every environment, but you can control your internal filter. Here's how. When someone brings drama, don't engage, redirect. When the media pushes fear, don't absorb, observe. When negative people try to drag you down, don't fight, rise quietly. Your peace doesn't need to argue to prove its power. It just needs to stay centered. The calmer you are, the harder you are to manipulate. Understand this: not everyone who speaks into your life deserves that privilege. Energy is contagious. If you hang around complainers, you'll become one. If you spend time with dreamers, you'll start dreaming bigger. Be selective with your circle. Protect your frequency. You can't fly high surrounded by anchors. You must also guard the conversations you have with yourself. The most dangerous words are not what others say about you, it's what you say about yourself when no one's listening. Every thought you repeat becomes a command to your subconscious mind. So stop speaking defeat. Stop predicting failure. Stop repeating limitations. Replace them with power statements. I am in control of my emotions. I attract peace, clarity, and success. I am calm under pressure. These are not just affirmations. They are mental armor. Every morning, feed your mind before the world feeds you. Read something that uplifts you. Listen to something that sharpens you. Write something that centers you. Make this a ritual. Because if you don't program your mind, someone else will. Protecting your mental gates is not about fear, it's about focus. You are the guardian of your reality. You decide what energy enters, what thoughts stay, and what beliefs take root. And here's the paradox. The more selective you are with your mind, the freer your life becomes. You stop reacting to every distraction. You stop chasing validation. You stop drowning in noise. Instead, you start to hear your own inner voice, the one that knows exactly who you are and where you're going. So from today, install this invisible gate. Let wisdom in, let noise out. Let purpose in, let gossip out. Let faith in, let fear out. The mind you protect today will build the life you live tomorrow. Mantra: protect your peace like a priceless treasure, because it is. Your mind is a muscle. If you don't train it, it gets weak. If you feed it junk, it becomes lazy. And if you let it drift, it becomes your enemy. Success, peace, and discipline are not natural states, they are trained states. Every thought you repeat, every emotion you entertain, every belief you reinforce, that's your workout. The difference between people who stay calm and people who crumble is not luck. It's mental conditioning. Most people train their bodies, but never their minds. They'll lift weights for an hour, but never lift their thoughts. They'll stretch their muscles, but not their patience. They'll push their limits physically, but stay stuck mentally. But here's the secret. Your external life is always a reflection of your internal training. You can't expect a strong life with a weak mind. You can't expect emotional peace with mental chaos. You must train the mind to obey you, not the other way around. How do you do that? Through daily mental workouts, small, simple, powerful repetitions that build inner strength over time. 1. Control your first thoughts of the day. The moment you wake up, your mind is a blank slate, waiting for instruction. Don't let the world program you before you do. Don't reach for your phone. Don't check messages. Instead, breathe deeply and feed your first thoughts with intention. I am in control of my emotions. Today, I will stay calm, clear, and focused. That's not cliche, that's programming. Those first words set your frequency for the day. 2. Train your response to stress. When something goes wrong, most people panic. But you practice. The next time you face pressure, pause and breathe. Ask yourself, what is this moment training me for? You'll realize every challenge is a gym for your mind. Every delay, every insult, every setback is a chance to grow your patience. clarity, and emotional control. 3. Feed your mind better fuel. You can't eat junk food every day and expect physical strength. The same goes for your mental diet. Stop feeding your mind with gossip, Autrage, and negativity. Read books that expand you. Listen to mentors who challenge you. Watch content that elevates your spirit. What you consume daily becomes who you are. 4. Practice mental stillness. Silence is the gym of the wise. Spend at least 10 minutes a day in quiet reflection. No phone, no talking, no noisy. Just breathe and watch your thoughts. When your mind wanders, guide it back. This is not about emptiness. It's about strength. You're teaching your mind to stay where you command it. That's focus training. 5. Rewrite your self-talk. Every time you catch yourself thinking, I can't, I'm tired, I'm not enough, replace it with I can, I'm growing, I'm getting stronger. Your subconscious listens to every word. Train it to believe in you, not against you. 6. Reflect daily. Before you sleep, review your day. Ask yourself, where did I stay calm? Where did I lose control? What can I do better tomorrow? That reflection is like reviewing your form after a workout. It's how you build precision and awareness. Consistency is everything. Mental strength isn't built by one big moment of discipline. It's built by 1,000 small moments of self-control when no one is watching. When you train daily, peace becomes your default. You stop reacting to every irritation. You stop drowning in self-doubt. You stop letting other people's chaos enter your system. You become steady like a mountain in a storm. The mind, once trained, becomes your most loyal servant. It stops resisting you and starts assisting you. It begins to work for your dreams, not against them. So from this day forward, treat your thoughts like weights. Lift the heavy ones. Push through resistance. Strengthen your focus, one rep at a time. Because a strong mind creates a strong life every single time. Remember, discipline is not punishment. It's protection. The more you train your mind, the less you'll suffer from what doesn't matter. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, this is just another set. Breathe, lift, grow. Train the mind, and the body will follow. Train the mind, and emotions will serve you. Train the mind, and peace becomes your permanent state. Mantra: the mind obeys the one who trains it daily. The fastest way to lose peace is to expect people to act like you would. The fastest way to gain peace is to stop expecting altogether. Freedom begins the moment you stop demanding that others behave according to your script. People will disappoint you. They will break promises, forget favors, and misunderstand your heart, not because they're evil, but because they're human. The mistake is thinking they owe you anything more than that. You can't control how others think, feel, or act, but you can always control what you expect. When you stop expecting, you stop being let down. When you stop being let down, you stop feeling betrayed. When you stop feeling betrayed, you start living free. Most suffering doesn't come from what people do. It comes from what we expected them to do. You expected loyalty and got silence. You expected honesty and got excuses. You expected appreciation and got indifference. Every expectation is an emotional contract you wrote without their signature. So tear up the contract. Live without attachment to outcome. That doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you start flowing. You give without demanding a return. You love without needing applause. You help without keeping score. When you live that way, every good thing becomes a gift, not a transaction. Gratitude replaces entitlement. This is one of life's highest lessons. Serve and release. You show up, do your best, speak your truth, and then let go. The moment you attach your happiness to someone's reaction, you hand them control over your peace. Stop doing that. You are not here to be approved. You are here to be aligned. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be authentic. You are not here to chase appreciation. You are here to give value. When your motives are pure, you don't need validation. The joy is in the doing, not in the applause. This mindset also builds emotional strength, because when you expect nothing, everything becomes a bonus. You start to see life differently. Instead of saying, "They didn't thank me," you think, "I didn't do it for thanks." Instead of saying, "They didn't show up," you think, "That's okay, I showed up for myself." Detach your worth from other people's reactions. Their approval doesn't increase your value, and their rejection doesn't decrease it. You define who you are, not their opinions. Expecting nothing doesn't mean lowering standards. It means removing emotional debt. You can still hold people accountable. You can still require respect, but you do it from strength, not need. You enforce boundaries without bitterness. You walk away without resentment. Here's a mental shift. Stop saying, "I expected better from them." Start saying, "I've learned who they are." That one shift will save you from endless disappointment. You can't build peace on illusions. See people clearly, love them anyway, and stay focused on your path. When you expect less from others and more from yourself, life becomes simpler. You no longer wait to be rescued, recognized, or rewarded. You take ownership of your emotions, your growth, and your destiny. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. And ironically, when you stop expecting, you start attracting, because people can feel when you're whole within yourself. You no longer need them to fill your cup. You overflow naturally. That confidence draws the right ones toward you, the kind who give freely, not conditionally. Expectation chains you to disappointment. Acceptance frees you to rise. So release people from your imaginary contracts. Let them be who they are, and let yourself be peaceful regardless. Life becomes lighter when you stop trying to control every outcome. You'll realize most things work out exactly as they should, just not always how you planned. Walk through life with open hands, not clenched fists. Give, serve, love, let go. That's how peace flows in, not by demanding perfection from others, but by mastering acceptance within yourself. Mantra: expect nothing, appreciate everything, give freely, stay free. Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about freeing you. The longer you hold on to anger, the longer you hand your peace over to the very person who hurt you. It's like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to suffer. Forgiveness doesn't excuse the behavior, it ends the control it has over your heart. Let's be honest, people will hurt you. Some intentionally, some carelessly. You'll be betrayed by those you trusted, ignored by those you helped, criticized by those you uplifted. That's life. But every wound gives you a choice to become bitter or to become better. Bitterness locks you in the past. It replays what happened again and again, like a broken film that never stops. You waste precious energy reliving a scene that can't be changed, and that mental movie becomes your emotional prison. Forgiveness is pressing stop. It's saying, I will not carry this pain another step. You let go not because they deserve peace, but because you do. Here's the truth. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's strength under control. Anyone can stay angry. It takes real power to release it. It takes courage to say, you hurt me, but you no longer define me. When you hold on to resentment, so you stay emotionally chained to the moment you were wronged, that person keeps living rent-free in your mind, shaping your thoughts and emotions. Every time you replay what happened, they win again. But the moment you forgive, truly forgive, the chain breaks. You walk free. Forgiving doesn't mean reconciling. It doesn't mean letting people back into your life. It means letting them go without letting them poison your heart. You can forgive from a distance. You can bless people as they leave. You can release the memory without reopening the wound. Think of forgiveness as emotional detox. You can't fill your life with peace if your heart is full of resentment. You can't rise to new levels while dragging old pain behind you. Every ounce of anger weighs you down, and life's too short to live heavy. Ask yourself, how many dreams have I delayed because I kept replaying old hurts? How many opportunities have I missed because my focus was trapped in bitterness? How much of my peace have I sacrificed for the illusion of revenge? Revenge might feel satisfying for a moment, but it never brings closure. It only keeps you chained to the same vibration as your pain. Forgiveness, on the other hand, elevates you. It shifts your energy from victim to creator. You stop reacting and start rebuilding. Here's the practice. When you remember someone who hurt you, breathe deeply and say quietly, I release you. I release myself. Say it until the emotion loses its grip. Repeat it as many times as needed. Forgiveness isn't a one-time act. It's a process of freedom. And remember, sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. The times you stayed silent when you should have spoken, the chances you didn't take, the mistakes you made when you didn't know better. But here's the truth. Self-forgiveness is the beginning of transformation. You can't heal if you keep punishing yourself for being human. You did the best you could with what you knew then. Now you know better. So do better and move on. The past is a classroom, not a prison. Take the lesson and leave the guilt behind. Forgive yourself for overgiving, for trusting too soon, for loving too deeply, for losing yourself while trying to help others find themselves. None of that was wasted. It was preparation. Every pain refined you. Every betrayal redirected you. Every ending opened a new path. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And the faster you forgive, the faster you move forward. Don't let yesterday steal another day from you. Close that chapter with gratitude. Say, thank you for the lesson, and step into the next level of your peace. True forgiveness is not forgetting what happened, it's remembering without bleeding. It's looking at the scar and feeling grateful that you survived. It's smiling at the memory that once broke you, because now it built you. When you reach that level of calm, nothing can shake you anymore. The world loses its grip on your emotions. You become light not because life is easy, but because you've dropped the weights that once held you down. Forgive fast. Move faster. Forgive so quickly that negativity can't find a home inside you. Move forward so decisively that the past can't keep up. Because peace doesn't come from control, it comes from release. You don't rise by holding on, you rise by letting go. So today, make a decision. No more carrying dead weight. No more replaying old pain. No more waiting for apologies that will never come. Let go. Not for them. For you, you deserve the space to breathe again. Mantra: forgive fast, move faster. The past no longer deserves your power. There comes a point in life when you must decide what will own your attention, distractions, or destiny, because every moment you spend worrying, arguing, or reacting is a moment stolen from your purpose. And if you don't choose purpose consciously, the noise of the world will choose distraction for you. Purpose is your compass. It's what keeps you steady when life spins. It's what whispers, keep going when nothing seems to work. People without purpose chase everything and catch nothing. But the man or woman who knows their why becomes unstoppable. Let me tell you something powerful. When you live with purpose, peace follows. Because purpose gives meaning to pain. It turns every obstacle into a lesson and every setback into strategy. The storms that once broke you now shape you. The rejections that once crushed you now refine you. But purpose doesn't come by accident. You don't find it scrolling through other people's lives or chasing applause. Purpose reveals itself when you start asking the right question, not what do I want, but what am I here to give? That single shift in focus from taking to serving transforms your life. When you live for yourself, every inconvenience feels unbearable. But when you live for something greater, every challenge becomes bearable. Purpose doesn't make life easier. It makes it worth it. It gives you a reason to rise again when comfort calls you back to bed. The purpose-driven person doesn't wake up to be entertained. They wake up to evolve. They don't compete with others. They compete with their own potential. They don't chase validation. They chase growth. Understand this. The mind without a mission becomes the devil's playground. That's why distractions feel so powerful, because you've given your mind nothing greater to focus on. The human spirit was not designed for comfort. It was designed for conquest. But when you forget your purpose, comfort becomes your cage. Think of purpose as the engine of discipline. When your why is strong, your excuses lose power. You no longer ask, do I feel like it, you ask? Does it serve my mission? That single question separates those who drift from those who dominate. You must train your mind to filter everything through the lens of purpose. Does this thought serve my growth? Does this habit move me closer to my vision? Does this person support my evolution or drain it? If the answer is no, let it go. Focus on purpose, because focus is the highest currency of success. The world trades in distraction. Every app, every headline, every noise is designed to steal your attention. The man who masters focus becomes rich in every sense, rich in peace, rich in productivity, rich in clarity. Napoleon Hill once said, "The man who knows what he wants and has made up his mind to get it will not be defeated." Why? Because purpose turns hesitation into decision. It turns fear into fuel. When you know where you're going, the obstacles lose their power to stop you. But purpose isn't found in comfort zones. It's forged in struggle. Every great mission begins with resistance. Ask any successful person, and they'll tell you the fire that almost destroyed them became the fire that defined them. So when life challenges you, stop asking why me and start asking what for, because purpose is often hidden in pain. The things that once broke your heart are usually connected to what you're meant to heal in yourself and in others. Focus on purpose means choosing direction over distraction. It means saying no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's essential. Discipline is not punishment. It's devotion, devotion to the vision that gives your life meaning. When you operate with purpose, you stop chasing happiness and start creating fulfillment. Happiness depends on conditions. Fulfillment depends on contribution. And the more you give, the more alive you feel. Let me tell you a truth. Most people never learn. Peace doesn't come from escaping problems. It comes from embracing purpose. Because when your life has direction, problems stop feeling personal. They just become part of the process. When you focus on purpose, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. Every insult becomes irrelevant. Every delay becomes training. And every challenge becomes opportunity. That's the mindset of mastery. The world will try to pull you off your path through comparison, through temptation, through fear. Stay rooted. Remember, distractions are detours. Every time you lose focus, you postpone your destiny. But when you guard your attention like treasure, your life becomes unstoppable momentum. Don't wait for perfect clarity to begin. Purpose is revealed through movement, not meditation. Start with what you have, where you are, and let the path unfold as you walk it. Action créate direction. The more you move toward meaning, the clearer your mission becomes. One day, when the noise quiets and the dust settles, you'll look back and realize that every heartbreak, every failure, every lonely night, they were all pointing you here. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. So fix your eyes forward. No more distractions. No more wasted energy on things that don't build you. You were born for something greater. You were born to create, to lead, to build, to serve. Live like it. Walk with purpose. Speak with conviction. Work with focus. Because when your life aligns with your purpose, peace stops being something you chase. It becomes who you are. Mantra: focus on purpose. Let everything else fall away. Because where focus goes, peace flows and power grows. There comes a moment when you realize that the real battlefield was never out there, not in the opinions, not in the noise, not in the people who doubted you. It was always inside you. The mind is the kingdom, and whoever rules it rules their world. Every war you've ever fought against fear, anger, insecurity, distraction was a training ground preparing you for this truth. Peace is not found, it's forged. Strength is not given, it's built. Mastery is not luck, it's labor, the daily discipline of ruling your thoughts before they rule you. You cannot have power over your life until you have power over your mind. The mind is both a servant and a saboteur. When you discipline it, it serves you faithfully. When you neglect it, it enslaves you quietly. The untrained mind turns every small problem into a storm. The trained mind turns every storm into a lesson. That's the difference between chaos and control. Most people think freedom means doing whatever they want, but real freedom is mastery, the ability to choose your thoughts, to command your reactions, and to stay calm in chaos. The one who controls himself can walk through fire and remain composed. He can face betrayal and still stay grounded. He can lose everything external, yet never lose his center. Your mind is like a fortress, powerful, yet vulnerable if left unguarded. Every negative thought that slips past the gates becomes a thief of your peace. Every doubt you entertain weakens the walls. That's why daily awareness is essential. You must constantly clean the castle of your consciousness. Because if you don't, dust becomes decay, and decay becomes defeat. When you master your mind, you stop being a victim of emotion. Anger no longer hijacks your focus. Fear no longer dictates your future. Anxiety no longer narrates your story. You begin to see every emotion for what it is, a messenger, not a master. You listen, if you learn, and you let it pass. That's the art of control. The unshakable mind doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you feel everything, yet choose what deserves your energy. You can acknowledge pain without drowning in it. You can face uncertainty without losing balance. You can experience loss and still see meaning. That's emotional alchemy, turning pain into power, struggle into strength, chaos into calm. And here's the truth. The world will never stop testing you. It will send you critics to test your patience, delays to test your persistence, and disappointments to test your faith. But every test is a teacher. Every obstacle is an opportunity to prove to yourself that your peace is no longer negotiable. Think about it. The strongest trees grow in the harshest winds. The calmest waters hide the deepest strength. And the most peaceful minds belong to those who have survived storms that once terrified them. You earn peace by walking through pain without letting it poison you. Mastery begins the moment you stop reacting to life and start responding with awareness. The moment you stop being pulled by emotion and start being guided by purpose, that's when the game changes. Because the world can take your possessions, your titles, your comfort, but it cannot take your composure. Every time you stay silent when others provoke you, you win. Every time you choose understanding over outrage, you win. Every time you turn rejection into redirection, you win. Because self-mastery is not about control over others, it's about dominance over the self that once needed to prove, defend, and react. When you master your mind, your energy becomes magnetic. People feel it before you speak. They sense the stillness in your presence, the clarity in your decisions, the power in your peace. That's influence without effort, leadership without words. The unshakable mind is built in silence. When you spend time alone, reflecting, observing, understanding your thoughts, you build a foundation that no chaos can crack. The greatest warriors are calm, not because life is easy, but because they've mastered the storm within. You must train yourself daily, not just through meditation or affirmations, but through conscious living. Every time life gives you a reason to react, choose to remain centered. Every time you feel anger rise, breathe deeper. Every time fear whispers, answer with faith. Those small victories stack. And one day, you wake up realizing nothing outside has power over you anymore. The world worships loudness, but real power is quiet. Real strength doesn't shout. It stands, it observes, it moves when needed. And it moves with precision. That's mastery. The wise don't waste words or energy. They understand that every reaction is a transaction, and peace is too expensive to spend on nonsense. The unshakable mind is not built overnight. It's the result of thousands of moments when you could have lost control but didn't, when you could have argued but chose silence, when you could have quit but kept going, when you could have hated but forgave. That's what builds the unbreakable version of you. And here's the final truth. Control begins within, but it ends with victory over self. The one who has mastered himself cannot be manipulated. He cannot be provoked, disturbed, or destroyed. Because he no longer reacts to the world, he creates his own. So train your mind like a soldier trains for war. Guard your peace like a king guards his crown. Protect your energy like a fortress protects its treasure. Because everything in your life begins and ends with the state of your mind. When you master that, you master everything. Be calm in chaos. Be focused in noise. Be grounded when others lose balance. Because the one who controls his mind controls his world. And the one who controls his world controls his destiny. That is the mark of true power. That is the essence of peace. That is the unshakable mind. Listen closely, because this is where everything comes together. You've learned that peace isn't something you find, it's something you build. It's built in silence when no one is watching. It's built in restraint when the world tries to trigger you. It's built in discipline when your emotions scream for attention, but you choose mastery. Instead, the man who masters himself becomes untouchable. When you no longer chase validation, you attract respect. When you stop reacting to chaos, you command calm. When you stop expecting from others, you start building from within. That's when your power multiplies quietly, invisibly, undeniably. Understand this truth. Peace is not weakness. Peace is power under control. Anyone can fight back. Few can stay centered. Anyone can speak loudly. Few can stay silent with authority. The storm will always come, but only the grounded will remain. And now it's your turn. Take what you've learned here and live it. Guard your mental gates. Train your mind daily. Forgive fast. Move faster. Expect nothing, but give everything. Detach from reaction and rise above. Because once you control your inner world, no outer world can ever defeat you. Let your calm be your weapon. Let your silence be your statement, and let your focus be your freedom. You don't need to prove your strength. Your peace is the proof. Because when you stop reacting to noise, you start hearing your own greatness. When you stop seeking control, you become control itself. So today, make the decision, stop chasing peace, and start creating it. Stop seeking validation, and start embodying it. Be the calm in chaos. Be the eye of the storm. Be the one who radiates power without a single word. The one who has mastered himself has already mastered life. If this message moved, you stay with us. Subscribe now.